grew up on. Since you say y'all with the shits, a couple of y'all with the shits.
Not with the shit like that, but straightforward and gonna tell you like it is. And if she needs to get somebody together on your behalf, she definitely will.
That's with the shits.
That's what she. That's what that.
Welcome back to the What You Mean podcast, man, for another episode and another Industry Monday, man. Unfortunately, man, y'all homegirl, man, the MUA, Kim, she couldn't be here for this episode, man. But we did make a small change, bro. So what we ended up doing was we ended up pulling our dope ass producer out of the booth, out of the engineering booth, and brought her onto the platform. She making a debut today, man. So what's up, man?
What's going on?
That's what it is, man. You gotta tell the folks who you is.
So what's good, y'all? I'm the Shay. Of course, you know. Like you said, I'm producer for What You Mean podcast. I'm a journalist. This is what I do. So it feels like I'm at home.
That's what it is, man. So without further ado, man, like we told y'all, man, we are here for Industry Monday. So we're gonna actually go ahead and just jump over to our guest for the night, man, and allow her to introduce herself and tell y'all how she could be found.
Okay, hello. My name is Janae Millhouse, also known as True or True Portrait. I can be found on Instagram as True Portrait, Facebook as Janae Millhouse. I'm a certified life coach, a certified yoga instructor, as well as a Vipassana meditation teacher.
Hold on.
That's just a little bit of what I do.
Hold on. We got to go back real quick. You named 4 different titles. What was the third one?
You could just call me Coach.
No, it wasn't life coach. I got life coach. I got yoga coach.
Vipassana meditation.
Okay.
I put that in there, and I even did the space how you pronounce it and everything.
Man, well, let me get my script pulled up, producer. See, she ain't in the booth. She out here trying to tell what to do out here. Well, I'm gonna actually on today. I'm sorry, y'all. So if you're watching at home on YouTube or wherever you're watching it right now, that information is actually down in the description, man. So make sure y'all go check her out and support her. We're going to get more into details on exactly making some bullets on some of them titles that she got. But I'm going to let my actually, you going to go ahead and do the intro?
Yeah.
Yeah, take that.
All right, so icebreaker. Okay. We love these. It kind of shows the humor of people before we get into seriousness. So describe each day of the week as your favorite food.
Ooh.
Let's get it Monday through Sunday.
That's a lot of food.
Let's get it.
Monday. See, my taste buds been a little strange lately, so let me see. I'll take a nice little salmon salad.
Okay.
Is that Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
Salmon salad. Ease me in. Let me see. Tuesday. I made like some little spaghetti.
Okay.
Spaghetti with a nice cheese toast bread.
Okay.
Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm looking for ahi tuna steak.
Ooh.
With a loaded baked potato.
I don't even know what tuna steak is.
Me either.
It's the steak they use for sushi. It's fish. But if you make it like seared on the stove, it tastes just like a steak.
Really?
I promise you.
Fish that tastes like a steak.
It tastes exactly like a steak.
Got you.
Okay. A1. Tabasco ranch, all that. Thursday, let me see. Oh, what am I eat Thursday? Maybe some grilled fish, pan seared fish.
Okay.
Give me some vegetables. I told you my taste buds been tripping. I don't eat a lot of stuff that I used to eat, and I'm not really interested in the same stuff. So I'll take a piece of fish and some squash, zucchini. Maybe some rice or some mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Friday, I would say wings plus or some wings, but I don't even eat chicken.
Talking about green springs?
Hot honey mustard.
Ooh,
what
you know about the hot honey mustard?
Cajun French fries. Fruit punch mixed with Sprite.
See, that's a new one. I always just get the Kiki Poo and call it a day.
Fruit punch mixed with Sprite.
That actually sounds good.
It does.
Delicious. And pull your straw all the way to the top of the ice so that it's real cold.
Hell no.
Y'all my secrets. Okay. So I'm gonna just keep that in there to describe my Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Okay.
Saturday Saturday. Let me see.
It's the weekend.
I'm gonna do some shrimp pasta though. Shrimp pasta with scallops, broccoli, spinach, tomatoes, onions. Some shrimp pasta.
Woo woo woo.
Yeah, absolutely delicious.
The whole platter. It just sounds delicious.
Can you tell I'm hungry?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you consider yourself a healthy eater?
I consider myself to be damn near vegan.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't eat a lot of stuff anymore. I don't eat beef, pork, chicken,
Okay.
but I eat some turkey. Sometimes I take it off my meal. Then I eat seafood.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, Sunday, one more.
Sunday.
Mm.
I want some neck bones.
Okay, then, Grandma.
I want some neck bones, rice, carrots, potatoes with some bell peppers, onions, some cornbread, and then just drizzle it all on the cornbread. Like put a whole lot of juice.
Can
in
you
there.
cook this stuff that you're describing?
Absolutely. I haven't made the neck bones yet, but I can cook everything else.
How old are you?
33.
Okay. Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. That's what's up.
At that age, you better know how to cook all that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
How old you is?
I'm 28.
And you don't know how to cook, do you?
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
I definitely know how to cook.
I'm just saying.
I'll be
man.
real though. I haven't gotten to the macaroni stage and the dressing stage.
Okay.
I'm at like the cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Like the
From scratch, or you talking about the jiffy?
both. But Jiffy for sure. For sure. But yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting into the kitchen and actually cooking all that. For sure.
I'm still in that stage too. I do jiffy.
Yeah.
I ain't done nothing from scratch.
Yeah.
Box me,
Box me.
but don't box me in.
Shots fired.
Already. We ain't even got into it.
Okay. So I just want to do this real quick because you're here because Russ McClendon actually came in and taught Urban Birmingham with us, man. I've been knowing Russ for quite some time. I actually consider him to be somewhat of an icon and a figure here in the city of Birmingham because
Absolutely.
everybody know Russ for
Russ
real.
is great.
For real. And, you know, with us going into our season 2 of the podcast, we wanted to kind of sort of change it up a little bit. And, you know, the guests that we allowed to share this platform with us, you know, we don't feel as if they would give us some bad recommendations.
Right.
And one of the people that he was like, you should get them in here if they you know, want to or have time to was you. So that's how you got here. And we just want to give a quick shout out to Russ for making sure that we can kind of sort of get you here. So
Thank you.
thanks, Russ. And so with that being said, you know, I don't want to go too fast. I like to, because we actually do have a producer, like try to do it, you know, orthodox as I can. So with that being said, I hear that are you one of 5 total or one of 4?
One of 6.
One of 6.
Yes.
All girls?
All girls. Yeah.
No boys?
I have a lot of nephews now, but not my mama kids. All girls.
Wow. Is it okay for me to ask, like, were you in the same parent household, like mom, same mom, dad, all kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Cool.
We're gonna meet right though.
All right. And the only reason I'm asking that is, where do you fall? Like, where you ranked at? You mean
I'm third to the oldest.
Third to the oldest.
Yeah.
So you got kind of a little bit of a release, huh? You didn't get it as bad as everybody else got it.
What you mean?
Like, me and my sister was raised different than how my little brother was raised. Like,
Okay.
we got a whole bunch of smoke. Like, we got our ass whooped for damn near everything. But my little brother didn't get that because by the time mama got to him, she was kind of tired a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I feel like I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay.
I feel like I got all the toughness. I definitely got some beatings. I got whoopings. I got all that. And then with my little sisters, they definitely got a lot of grace. So I get what you're saying.
I got you.
Yeah, I think it was tougher on me because I'm kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like a big little sister too.
Okay.
Although I'm in the middle.
So with that being said, like with you becoming the woman that you are and operating in the manner and within the realms and the titles and the things that you do, you know, how does that come off to the older sisters and the little sisters?
I think it's honestly difficult for them to see me outside of them knowing me as sister. So, you know, like when people tell you certain things, it's not received because I know who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
I know your secrets, your dirty little secrets.
And then if you hear from somebody else, it's like, yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm thinking, I said that.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't think that it's really like received as I know what I'm talking about a lot of times because they actually grew up with me and they know who I am.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
That's what's up.
Interesting.
it's interesting. Yeah.
How would you describe the personalities of your siblings and yourself? Just one word. Just describe the different personalities of y'all.
My older sister, I'm gonna give her one word. I'm gonna say ready or down.
Okay.
She with it. My sister under her, she's actually deceased. She was murdered back in 2002.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The one under me, feisty. The one under her, she with the shit too. And my baby sister is kind of a combination of all of us. So she got everybody's one word, and then yeah.
So what's out of town y'all grew up on?
Ainsley.
Oh wow!
That's your side of town, ain't it?
Ainsley.
He can't clap.
Yeah, you might be right. Y'all might be with the shit for real.
I mean, hey,
You know what's crazy? What's crazy about Ainsley is my first exposure to Birmingham was probably Bessemer. My mom's one of her baby sisters actually moved from Bruton, Alabama, and moved up here to Birmingham after the passing of her husband. And she would come get us in the summertime, you know what I'm saying, and bring us up here so we can kick it or whatever the case may be. I was a favorite nephew, you know. And but when I got to high school, my best friend, people lived up here. And they just so happened to live on Pike Road.
Oh, that's right around the corner from me.
So when I tell you, like, I love my family. I love my folks. But when I would find out that he was coming to Birmingham for the holiday, I was like, man, I want to go too. Like, I just spent New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgivings up here. And we was always at Pike Road, and we were always in the Inslee area. Like, everybody that moved from down south and moved up here, they all kind of sort of was in that little Inslee area, whatever the case may be. So I just, you know, I hear the things that people say about Inslee, and I thank God that at the end of the day, I never really got that experience from Inslee when I was coming up here, because we was acting like we was grown, bro. We was up here 15, 16, 17 years old, drinking, smoking like crazy, like we was grown, and for some reason, I guess God knew so he had something greater for us because we was just okay.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Inslee, man. I wanted to know what side of town you grew up on, just to say y'all with the shits, a couple of y'all with the shits.
Not with the shit like that, but you know, straightforward and gonna tell you like it is, and if she needs to get somebody together on your behalf, she definitely will.
That's with the shits.
That's with the shit. Yeah. Okay.
That's what that
Okay.
is.
Yeah, she gonna get you.
Yeah, for sure.
Point blank period.
So I want to ask, growing up in a household full of sisters, like, let me see, how would I word this? Because you had no brothers.
No.
Do you think it would have made a difference in who you are and just how you think if you had brothers, you know, compared to just having all sisters who are on the same wavelength, you know, brothers to help you think outside the box or think stronger or more courageous and confident?
Absolutely. I think that I know that I've always been poised, always extra girly, extra feminine. Even though I can play sports, I'm a whole girl. Yeah. Like the fullness of what a woman or a girl is.
I hear that shit.
I definitely feel like if I had brothers around, that it would kind of give me more insight into what men think, how how they act. And I would have more understanding of that in my adult life about a man. So yeah, definitely.
Sure. Was your dad a strong figure in y'all life? I
think he was present, but not physically present.
Okay.
So I think a lot of different people try to provide in other ways. So I don't think his way of showing up was to be physically, as me being able to physically see you, but providing like financially. So I couldn't say I had a real clear picture of what providing would look like from his perspective as a kid.
And you know, that's a lot of us females. That's a lot of our issues. Like, well, I'm not going to say a lot because everybody is different, but some of us didn't have that experience of a dad showing us what it is to, you know, receive love from a man. Absolutely. Or, you know, being taken care of by a man. Like my dad, same thing, rest his soul, was more so here you go, I love you. No, we'll spend time, but as far as like having sex talks or having talks about boys, like nah, none of that.
So confused.
And I think that's where daddy issues come in, honestly.
Absolutely.
I don't even think even with me being like a stepdad right now, like I don't think that I could even have that conversation with whether it was my biological or non-biological
Which
daughter,
conversation?
like the sex conversation.
You have to though. You want them to learn from the streets?
No, I don't. But I still can't wrap my head around the fact of sitting up and having that conversation. Like for instance, you know what I'm saying? I've been up in Birmingham since like 2011, 2010, and there was a portion of my life where I was actually a youth pastor, and during that time, I got close to a lot of my youth kids. A lot of them, like I'm still in contact with right now. They call me. I hate it because every time they call, they want money. But that's neither here nor there.
You got it.
But you know, I walked through the mall one day in the Galleria, and I thought I had seen one of my little kids. So I was like, I called her mom. I was like, "Hey, where she at?" And she was like, "She hit the house." She was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I thought I seen her walking through the mall holding some little boy hand. So I'm finna go ask her what's up, like what's going on here." And she was like, "Well, you know they're growing up, LaCheston." And I was like, "Man, I know they is, but I don't want them to." I was like, "Do you know what I was doing when I was 15?"
That's why we need to be guided during those stages and not just, I don't know what to say to her. Guide her as best as you can. Yeah, because they're going to do it.
Because that's the scary part about it, just knowing what we were doing at 15. And you know how advanced these kids are today.
It's unacceptable.
They doing stuff that...
Yeah.
So, it's talk.
Yeah.
Communicate.
So are you a mother?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Want to be?
I desire to be, but I definitely would like that package that comes with it.
What's the package?
Can we get a hand clap?
I need partnership.
Hey Jay, hold on real quick. Hey, this my show. You don't do what Nisha tell you to do, man. We don't turn this into a women's show. This my show. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's real.
But go ahead.
I see how many parents are out there with these kids by themselves, and it's a lot mentally.
Right.
To take on another human, to have their whole life in your hands, but to maintain your own mental wellness and provide for them. I'm tired for them.
Wow.
So if I had a partner that actually wanted to be a dad, it would relinquish some of that control or power in my hands to feel like I have to take care of this whole human. I need to be able to say, go in there with your daddy. Or knowing that he's going to come in and want to take him or take them somewhere to relieve me. I need some help.
So when you say partner, are you, it doesn't have to be marriage, it just needs to be a partner?
I desire marriage.
Okay.
But the more into myself that I'm learning, I don't even know if that makes sense. We're going to make it make sense. Y'all feel me? That makes sense?
I feel you.
I
feel you.
Thank you.
Like,
the more that I'm learning.
Yeah.
I desire more so partnership than the label of marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we might need to bring you back for After Hours. That might be a whole nother conversation in itself.
Talk about marriage.
Well, all right. So if we being completely honest, man, I talked about this in season 1, but the day that I tried to talk about it, I actually couldn't find a video. But it's this African woman that on TikTok, I think I saved it, but she talked about monogamy. All right, and she talked about how many men that it would take to impregnate every woman in the world.
Okay.
All right. And then she tells the panel, she was like, "This is why I believe that no man can be monogamous." And she says, sex is mainly for reproduction. Then next is for pleasure or whatever the case may be. All right. So if you look at, and then she compared her to animals, of course. She was like, if you look at the male species, they'll literally have sex and keep it moving. Like they have no type of feelings or emotions attached to it whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, for these very reasons, this is why I feel like men are just not created to be monogamous. And that was her breakdown of it. I mean, I really wish I could get the video so I could bring it up for you so you could like really, really hear it. You know what I'm saying? So the little gaps that I created in there, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I get what you're saying about make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we turn in the corner in 2023 where the life we know is when it comes to the white picket fence, and the status quo family is not the status quo family and the white picket fence anymore.
Yeah.
Now a picket fence is red, blue, yellow, purple with same sex parents in a household parenting a child. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that anything is wrong with them, just saying like, and this was another thing that I mentioned. I just feel like, bro, by the time in the next 5 years, it's gonna be a law where you could probably marry more than one person.
Yeah.
I can see that too. I can see that too. I have a lot to say about that. I don't think we want to get
Let's
into
get
it.
into it. Let's get into it.
Because you talked about the scenario with, men being able to reproduce. Basically, men can reproduce or produce multiple kids versus a woman. Yeah, a woman can only get pregnant once a year. Men can impregnate several.
Correct.
I get that. So are you saying that monogamy does not exist?
I'm not going to say that because I think that I actually know some good people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think I know some good people that really hold down the fork and do what they're supposed to do. I think at the end of the day, I think on the male and female side of it that nobody's blind. Everybody still see new attractions. They wonder about new things. Yeah. They lust over new things. And the willpower is simply being able to cut that off from allowing it to go further than what it needs to go. And I think that just because us men, some of us, I'm going to say some of us, like, a small percentage of us just feel like we should be able to just do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of how the lines are just laid out. Like when I grew up in the 80s around people that they took care of home. When they left, they didn't get questioned. They didn't get all this roo rah rah, all that. When they come back home, they come back home. You know what I'm saying? Like I done seen a whole person literally have the joke that people make about having a family on east side of town. Like I've literally seen a person with my own eyes have one family here and another one over there, and would go stay a couple weeks over here, go to the other one, stay a couple weeks, like literally do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that it's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying when it goes back to what you were saying about having those concrete conversations that need to be had about the right person telling you the right way so that the wrong scenario or the wrong person can't teach you the wrong way. So, we come up during those times where that's what a lot of guys, I came up in the era where if you wasn't getting none, like you was a lame. You wasn't doing what you was supposed to do. And that talk started at like 12, 13. Like I got a homeboy he started firing off in middle school, bro.
He's like younger.
I ain't even getting no pom pom until I got to high school. He was in middle school, like doing his thug thizzle. You know what I'm saying? So I just think from, without me getting myself in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like it's two playing fields when it comes to men and women, and it comes to emotions, and it comes to I don't know what the word would be, but we could just keep it a buck. Sex.
I feel what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't gonna do rational shit with y'all body the way that we will.
Okay.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
It makes sense.
Like you even with the changing times, like you got some women now that move like dudes.
Absolutely. I think everybody has seasons.
I don't know, cause I can deal with a whole season that you had probably while you was in college or something like that. But when it get to going like crazy, like still doing it, still on it, got to have multiple partners, you know what I'm saying? May want to do a little something here with multiple people. Like I feel like some people never cut that off. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and those are different type of women to me. Yeah. Like the naturally, and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. Like, that's what you like. That's what you like. That's what you do. That's what you do. But when I grew up liking a ponytail, some kids, a skirt, and a shirt.
Okay.
And that's naturally what I'm still attracted to. Like the girls that how they were raised during that era, they were raised for, you're supposed to talk to one person at a time. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be honest. You're supposed to hold yourself upright. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
so
like
the girl next door, in quote.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, because I grew up in a country town. Like, I didn't get that Birmingham experience until later on.
And that's the thing now.
What?
Well, they call them plain Janes now, but the girl next door and the aesthetic girl, you know, the bad bees.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a thing now, where it's like the aesthetic girls feeling like the men don't want them. They want the plain Janes. They want the girls next door. Kind of like what you was explaining.
Mm-hmm.
The high value men want the wifey
Mm-hmm.
type of, like, who you can bring home to your mom.
But the high value man also still like to have fun. With
Yeah, I was
those,
about to
with
say
those
that.
fun
True,
girls.
but
That's what I was gonna say.
they won't bring them home though. That's the thing.
No,
That's
you,
the thing.
you can't get my last name. You can't get the special treatment. Like, it's just
Fun
you can
girl.
have fun.
Yeah,
But that's
fun
gonna
girl.
be it.
I want to say one thing. You was talking about how men are they lust with their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, like, men are prone to go out and explore certain things. And a girl said it so good on a podcast. She said, we as women have to understand that this is a thing. So when we asking men to be honest with us and to communicate with us, are you ready to have that conversation?
Right.
Like, hey, like, he come to you and say, hey, I love you, but I was with this girl, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or I did this. Are we ready to have that conversation? And we say we want communication. We say we want
Yeah.
honesty. And that hit hard. Because
Yeah.
men are gonna be men at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, y'all want that, but can we handle that? Is that really what we want?
My sister and I was talking about that same exact scenario, and
Mm-hmm.
she played it out, role played it with me, and asked me the question as if she were my man.
Yeah.
And I still say to this day that I want our relationship to be so transparent that he can feel comfortable enough to let me know if he's interested in somebody else.
Even if it hurts.
Just keep it real with me.
Mhm.
Keep it real with me, and then we can decide between you and I how we want to handle our relationship.
That's so scary, bro.
It is. It's real though.
I'm
Would you prefer him?
no. I'm just saying that it's scary simply because a lot of times, if you don't know your partner through and through, you don't know how that conversation is really gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, the people that are willing to have that conversation, they can kind of sort of know, like, we have an open lines of communication enough to know that we can have a civil conversation about it without bringing it. Because, man, I've had two people in my whole life tell me to not tell somebody important to them the truth
Yeah.
because they knew the particular person that was like, they're not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that. Figure out something else to tell them. I'm not telling you become a liar,
Yeah.
but don't tell them that because they keep telling you they want to know the truth. They want to know the truth, but they can't handle
Yeah.
the truth.
It's-
And I'm kind of sort of glad we right there in that place because it's going to allow us to kind of sort of get back on track because we didn't took you all the way left.
It's
Yeah.
all good.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to yoga and it comes to meditation and it comes to the everyday stresses and relationships and complications and single mom just love the heck out of their child, you know what I'm saying, but needs a break, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to you being a life coach, we can come to the end of that on the life coach end, but when it comes to the yoga aspect and the meditation aspect, like what are some things that you're giving to your clients to kind of sort of help them like manage those everyday stresses?
First, I'm offering them a space. I think a lot of people feel I can't do this. It's not for me. I'm too big. I've never done it. I'm not flexible. But it's to create a space.
Okay.
Just like we're sitting in a space right now, it's an atmosphere. You create a yoga space, which simply means a space where you can go to be with yourself.
Okay.
Although it's in a group setting or even one-on-one, it's a space that you know is dedicated for you to discipline yourself, to sit with yourself, to get in stillness, to get into a quiet place and go inside out
Okay.
versus just always doing things on the outside.
Okay.
Breath work is stillness, is internal. Sitting with yourself is finding space, again, in that space to make space for yourself. That's dedicated time that you're pouring back in.
Gotcha.
A lot of times we just giving out to other people. It's a dedicated practice. It's also more to it than just sitting on an actual yoga mat. A lot of the principles and tools that I use are better used in real life versus in the actual practice of yoga.
Okay.
Saying that, let's just say you come to the practice, the first thing we do, before you start moving, get still. Think about how we get in life. We walk out the door, we just get into what we're getting ready to do. Start driving, headed to where we're headed. Check in with yourself. Take a minute to pause
Right.
and just be. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? What is my body needing? What is my mind telling me? And then move.
Gotcha.
So that's better. Again, that's something that you're taught on the mat, but it applies once you leave that mat.
It's crazy that you're saying that because it's kind of sort of like, it's like sinking in right now. because I don't think I've ever thought about it like that. Like I've been one of them people like that shun yoga. Like y'all niggas doing yoga, that shit ain't doing that. Like I'm one of them type of people. Like right, but now that you're sitting here telling me kind of sort of like how the transformation goes just to get in that space so that you can operate in that manner to get the true benefits of it. It's like, yeah, in the morning, I'm thinking about getting up, putting my clothes on, grabbing my stuff, getting in my car, let the garage door up so I can go. So you telling me to utilize that same thought process that when I wake up in the morning, I'm finna tell myself, hey, I'm finna go in here, I'm finna sit down Indian style, I'm finna chill out, I'm finna clear my head, and then just kind of sort of go through that formality to kind of sort of create a space for me to just like push some stuff out.
It sets the tone. It sets the intention. It's a way for you. So you don't even have to go and sit Indian style. You don't even have to.
I just say that.
I know, but you don't have, it's not a right or wrong way to do it.
Right.
You can open your eyes and just deep breath. How am I feeling? What is my body needing? And just being in that moment for a few moments to just get still before you decide to just hop up and get into your routine.
Okay.
Just taking a moment. It's a moment. A pause. We move so quick, and that's how anxiety comes into play. That's how stress comes into play because we're just always on the go. Do we ever take time for ourselves though? And the word yoga simply means to make whole, to yoke. Okay. That's what it means, to make whole with oneself in mind, body, and spirit. So it's a lot to it, but again, all of those principles are better applied in everyday walks of life.
Gotcha.
It's a lot to it, but it's really simple. Like once you get it, it's simple. I believe. Yeah. Once you get it, it's simple. Like I feel like people put more into it than needs to be into it. It's really just remembering that you're breathing. Like she said, you're moving. We're moving all the time. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we just forget that we really breathing. I think yoga kind of just brings you that mindfulness that I'm alive, I'm healthy. You know, I got my limbs. I can eat. I think that's what a part of yoga is.
Definitely.
Just like she said, just being one with your body. You know, we take our body for granted.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a moving meditation. Mm-hmm. So we're moving on the mat, but it's mindful movement. Mm-hmm. Each breath is connected with the movement. Each pose, it takes discipline, it takes stillness, it takes your breath in order to even get the pose. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot that comes into it, like you said, but it's simply just, a lot of people think that I got to get this pose or I've reached it, I got it now. But it's yoga, it's a journey. Mm. It's not a destination. And I think that's, again, the way that we look at life. We think that we have to get somewhere. We think that we have to obtain this next goal. Mm-hmm. What about the middle part? What about the person who you had to become in order to even reach that? Right. That's the part right there. So yoga is a journey.
Got you. So when it comes to yoga and it comes to your meditation, I hope you can tell me. I really don't want to get into that, but I do want to ask a question. Are you a believer?
Am I a believer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Awesome. Awesome. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
I don't know where you're going, but I love it already.
I mean, I just... it's crazy thing today. While I was at home, I was editing because I'm not afraid to say right now, like this podcast is going in a positive direction. God has really blessed me with some great people to work with me. So I'm just trying to do what I need to do to catch everything up to where it needs to be so that season 2 can flourish the way that it needs to. And she can really do what we have her to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And today, Oprah Winfrey had a show that popped on the TV. And she films it at her house. So she was out in the backyard with this guy who wrote the book called Universal God. And I just, a lot of people receive things differently, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? But he was trying to point out like the differences in how people perceive or how they receive things, that they're receiving it the wrong way, that you should receive it like this. Like, this is the way it's supposed to be. And I'm saying all of that to simply say, like, the reason that I was asking you, was you a believer? Because we have a lot of people that do certain things or certain practices because those are the things that they believe in. They have absolutely no belief system when it comes to, Christ. Okay. So that's why I was more so kind of sort of just asking, like it's like yoga just your thing? Is like yoga what's gonna get you to heaven or into the afterlife, or whatever you're meditating on is your meditation your place of or because I think all of those things can work for the good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of them believers that I believe God speaks to us through our conscience. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm meditating and I'm doing yoga and I'm having these self-discipline where I can actually make everything cease to exist, so I can hear him speak to me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, so that's why I was asking. Like I said, I know you got certain people who be all up on these crystal things and these skulls and all this other crazy stuff. Like, and I'm not saying if that's your thing, that's your thing. But when it comes to me, like, I was raised to stay away from that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let it into your equilibrium. That way you're not thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? That way you don't give it no unnecessary power that it's not supposed to have. So that's the only reason why I was asking.
I'm glad that you asked that. And I'm actually wearing a crystal.
Okay.
I make jewelry with crystals.
Okay.
And I believe that the titles, the labels, and everything that was instilled in us growing up kind of hinders us from a lot of truths that are out in the world for us to discover.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I feel like the world is our playground. I feel like a lot of things we don't express or actually read into or research because of what we've been taught.
Okay.
But the way that I've kind of incorporated God into my life, or he's found his way into higher consciousness into my life, is because I had to erase or kind of let the foundation of who I thought I was completely fall in order for me to rebuild on a foundation of complete truth. Okay. Not truth that because you told me, not truth because this is what you were led to believe, but my own actual truth, what resonates with my spirit inside out, what makes sense for me. So even when it comes to crystals, at my pop-ups, some people say, I'm interested, I want to learn about it, but you know, it's not in the Bible and my family is very Christian. I've been reading the Bible lately. And you know, the last few pages, it's all crystals. So I think it's just the title and the tags that we put on things that make us so afraid of trying them. I think that we all should probably try to explore more things to discover our own truth and connection with them.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily putting powers in, you know, spirits, because people do things for different reasons. There is some other things that you can do with crystals and other titles that come along with that. You have to find what resonates for you.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Vipassana.
The what?
Vipassana.
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 Yes. And I may be saying it wrong too. Hey, tomato.
Who knows? There's so many words. Like, anyway, so I never heard of that technique of yoga. So explain to us what that is and, you know, the benefits of it.
Okay. Vipassana means insight. So the meditation, that's what it is. Vipassana meditation. So it's the ability to find insight within things, inside out, concentration, purification, all of those types of things that people would not normally associate with the word. Is more than just you sitting still, but it's learning to sit still and gain insight from inside out. Like you said, learning to hear those inner voices as your inner guide. If you get still enough, practice the breath work, those are opening basically tunnels or channels to awareness. Yeah. So that's what insight represents.
Kind of sort of like the one chick we had our last season when she came in and kind of sort of talked to us about hypnotherapy. Okay. And she was like, it's the therapy of dealing with the subconscious, because there are things in our subconscious that we don't ever deal with because we just deal with it on the surface. Yeah. So
speaking of that, it kind of makes me think about when you were talking about women in their seasons of, you know, wanting to be promiscuous. Everything's tied to something. All of that's trauma just being expressed in a sexual manner.
Bro, you know what? We can't even go there. We go.
Let's turn it real quick. So we're talking about yoga, and I feel like and you read the Bible, you're a believer, so the Bible tells us to go into that quiet place. Okay. Yoga is kind of like that, right?
And that's the thing. I feel like the Bible, and I don't know how y'all gonna feel about it, but I'm gonna just keep it real. I think that's also a tool. Yoga is a tool. Meditation is a tool. The Bible is a tool. It's a lot of things that you can take from it, a lot of things you probably don't agree with or resonate with, but the principles of it, it's all universal. It's all the same. Yeah. It's all the same. It's just the title.
As above, so below.
It's the same stuff, just different terms.
Yeah. I agree. So what kind of is poses? What kind of poses do you do, or posture do you do for The V word. I keep
Or
forgetting it.
Vipassana?
Yeah, Vipassana.
I'm gonna stay away from it. I ain't even gonna try to say it.
We can just say meditation.
Okay.
So meditation is just the ability to practice stillness.
Gotcha.
And using your breath. That's what meditation is. Yoga is a form of meditation. Yoga is a moving meditation.
I like that you separated the two. Because when we think of yoga, we instantly think of meditation.
Yeah. We're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yoga is more so for the body.
Mind,
meditation.
Body, and soul. Because you can't get into the practice of it without stepping into a clear mental headspace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mind, body, spirit connection. Bringing all of that into one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did yoga last year for the first time ever. Like I went to a yoga spot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
That's good.
It was amazing. Just being calm, like your body being calm. Men are doing it. I know some men feel like this isn't manly, but men are doing it. Like becoming one with your body, understanding like the aches and the pain. Like it hurts here. Okay, let me work on this, or okay, I can stretch my arm. Like it's truly amazing. And like you said, or like it's mindfulness. But don't you feel like that's kind of like overrated? Like everybody's like kind of like how woke was overrated. People were saying woke. Don't you feel like mindfulness is all of this is like overrated?
Oh, I used to say that most of the people who said they were woke were the most sleep.
Wow.
Because you wouldn't have to say it, right?
You just be it. So I feel like even when it comes to people practicing mindfulness is not something that's always been a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I think you're able to see. Like you said, even when it comes to being honest and truthful with your partner, you don't want to be so truthful with people sometimes because they're not going to forget about the things that you said.
True.
I think when it comes to mindfulness, I'm just in a space where I can't unsee a lot of things that I've seen.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I've seen it to be, that's what I mean. If I've seen it to be my truth, you can speak however you feel and describe mindfulness in any other way. I know it to be my truth based on my own personal life experiences.
Gotcha.
So I think it is a phase. And even with different pictures and videos that I'm seeing of people practicing yoga, it seems so sexualized from what I'm seeing, but I think that takes away from the foundation of what the practice offers.
Yeah.
So I think it's just all in a matter of perception.
Yeah,
perception is everything.
The yoga folks got their own hashtag on TikTok, and it ain't the kind of yoga.
What's it called? What's the hashtag?
It's yoga.
Oh, okay.
But the stuff that's coming up is not.
It's not. They're doing yoga stuff, but they're not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been told. Even people that see me practicing yoga, somebody has told me that I'm thirst trapping.
It's more perverse now.
That is a little funny, but I'm looking like
I'm
not
sorry.
even thirsty.
I'm sorry. I feel you.
So
it's women when it comes to that. You have some women that intentionally do it, and then you have some women that have no intention to do it, but it's just being labeled as such.
The titles, the labels, the stickers.
It's just they're putting everybody in that one little pot. You know what I'm saying? Because
the world is so perverse. It's all about sex. It's all about sex. Like it just is what it is. Ain't no way around that.
Like a lot of people, we would look at Megan Good and who the boy she was the
preacher guy
she was married to. Like they did all the numbers selling that book, right? I had to tell somebody, I was like, the book was about not having what? Sex. It's about but it's about sex. It ain't about it being before marriage. The book was about sex, abstaining from sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing that sells.
There's a healthy way. There's a healthy way to talk about sex, and then there's the unhealthy way. The healthy way is when you're teaching people to be celibate or to. There's a healthy way.
I think that if it involved sex and you trying to make some money off of it, that's just it. It falls under whatever. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that the book was probably not, it wasn't beneficial. I read the book. At the time I was dating somebody who actually bought me a copy of it. They wanted me to read it because they was on the so-called abstinent train or whatever the case may be. But as soon as we start talking, she started smashing somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it wasn't you.
It's cool. I wasn't even tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like it's a lot of people that be. I'm just saying. Yeah. At the end of the day, if it got something to do with sex, is 9 times out of 10 it's gonna sell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we even got a segment here on the What You Mean podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's centered around, I ain't gonna say primarily sex, but it's centered around just talking, modern day relationships, feminine versus masculinity, whatever trendy things are going on in a relationship network, because I mean, that's what a lot of people want to quote unquote hear about. We just don't want our platform to be centered around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to get people like yourself that come here and feed the culture. Talk to us about stuff that we don't know about. Educate us about stuff that we don't know about. Like, you might come to see an after hours video on our platform, but hopefully once we get in this algorithm and we're going, the next episode that comes up will be the one with Janae, where we're talking about yoga and we're talking about meditation and we talked a little bit about trauma and we talked about a little bit about this. Like, so you might have went for one reason, but you still get something else before you leave. You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, let me do this. Since I'm asking all the hard questions, personal, life, love, home, career. Are those things that you're comfortable talking about?
Absolutely. Let's talk.
Okay. So is there a person?
At this moment, absolutely not.
Okay. Is that by choice, or is it because of like the work life and things that are going on that you're trying to get, the way you want it as far as your career is going? And
or is it because of the algorithm of men?
What you mean? What's the algorithm of men?
I was just being funny.
But I think it is one, because I don't know what it.
What's the algorithm of men?
It fluctuates. 1 minute is this, and the next minute is that. It fluctuates.
I think it's that.
I
don't understand.
Now don't take it as gospel, because I just made it up.
I feel you though.
Yeah.
The algorithm of men.
Something going on with it. It's like a glitch in the system.
Yeah. It's glitching.
Hit it again, Jay.
I keep Jay. He wants you to come out here. He feel like he been sad.
No, I don't. Jay taught me how to hold my own last season.
Nice.
Like, he was the one when I was coming out. He was like, "Bruh, if you gonna be in there by yourself, you gotta hold it down for all the brothers. Like, you can't be just letting them like." But I'm just a lot of times when a lot of conversations, it might be going like all the way left crazy, and I got like this shutdown thing in me where I be like, yeah, I ain't even finna entertain it. It ain't worth being entertaining, but. When it comes to, so you are dating. He need to know how to use a yoga mat.
No, but he needs to be open-minded enough to be able to come into my spaces.
Okay.
Yeah, let me introduce you to some things that I think that are close to me.
And I think that's one of the most intimate things that a man can offer a woman, is being able to have a conversation with her about the things that she loves, the things that she wants.
Absolutely.
Regardless of whether he's all the way interested in it or not. Like, just be able to have an intellectual conversation with her about the things that matter to her the most.
Be interested in what I'm interested in because I'm interested.
Right.
That's how you know he cares.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not dating anyone. And I don't know if this sounds cliche, but the moment that I think about lusting or pursuing men and trying to choose who I want to be chosen by and all of that, I'll go just read my Bible. And not in a spiritual sense, like, okay, let me get into my Bible. Let me be a Bible thumper. But let me change my energy. Let me shift my focus.
Put it somewhere else.
Let me shift my focus and let me go back to that focus, because I think that requires me to be more so intentional with myself and be able to attract somebody that knows how to match my energy. Because I haven't met people that really match me. I don't meet a lot of people. I don't really go a lot of places. And I really work a lot. A lot of the things that I'm doing, anytime that I'm really out, I'm working. Yeah. And I think that's been a reason why I haven't really met anybody either. And I've also been very particular when it comes to what I'm interested in. So I've had to practice being more open-minded as well.
So what are you interested in?
I'm typically interested in a certain type of man, in a sense of height, body type, career driven, just somebody that's intentional with himself.
Run that list.
It ain't no list though. The only thing that's on my list right now is somebody that is intentional with themselves and have a vision. Okay. Somebody that knows where they're headed, or at least working towards.
So you're not one of those girls that fall in love with potential, is it?
Back in the day, I did.
Wow.
I would say back in the day, I can see you'll be good at this. Yeah. Oh, if we got this together, that'll work. Oh, you can.
It can be a thought, but it wouldn't be now, because every woman does that. It can be a thought, but as you get older, it's more so like, Potential, but nah.
Absolutely not today.
Yeah.
I can see potential today and say he gonna have to, hopefully if he comes back around and he's at his potential, we'll meet again. But at your potential right now, I can't heal you.
Yeah.
I can't give you the, I can't build you.
So right now you're basically at a stage where it's extremely significant that he be somewhat established and knows what he's doing and what he wants in order to approach you.
He needs to be led by something, and he needs to have a purpose, working in his purpose or working towards his purpose and passions.
So since you say you don't get out that much, like, you know, you're doing your yoga thing. Like I said, I seen you take a couple of pictures and stuff like that. So, you know, if you're not getting out for these guys to get at you, are they sliding in your DM?
You feel me?
That's where they at. That's where they exist at, ain't it?
But I'm not really interested in that. I need to.
But how is a man supposed to reach out if he can't see you?
I'm trying to tell you. That's why, like, the past few weeks, I had to actually just sit down and tell me, Janae, you're gonna have to start just getting out and going to places, getting dressed up and just going out.
They say go to Lowe's. They say dress up and go to Lowe's. That's what they say.
I'm going on goddamn Lowe's.
But look, what I'm trying to get, I'm just gonna be in there, just in there like this.
They say that's what a good men are. The hard workers get their hands dirty.
I don't get my hands dirty. What you trying to say?
I don't know. I've met men in the last several years in spaces where I wasn't really trying to meet men. If I go to the park, I'll go to the park, and that's the thing. I go to the park to do some work. Go to the park to work out or do some yoga, and I meet people just organically. I like organic introductions, or I just like chemistry. I like natural energy. I want to be able to feel you.
Right.
So you sliding in my DMs, and sometimes your verbiage may throw me off, or
it's bad energy through a DM.
I'm just saying, like, all of that, like the verbiage.
There's man, you know what, is the DM right now is just crazy because it's a hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Like because a lot of people might not even open them up. Like, so those first two lines is all you get. Like, you know, when that notification come up on that phone and they show you the first two lines of, that's all you get, player.
It's
so
like an elevator pitch. 15 seconds.
Like, if you don't get the first two lines right, you ain't really worried about it anyway. And I would think, bro, I mean, you still got your F-boys, you know what I'm saying, that exist nowadays, that'll tell you what you want to hear, however you want to hear it in order to make whatever type of advance that they've set out to make. But I do think that in that same boat of dudes, you got some actually good dudes that are going to be saying the same thing that the F-boys are going to be saying, but they actually mean it.
That's
you know
the algorithm that she's talking about, the glitch in the algorithm.
Exactly.
That's what it is right there. Why y'all even in the same boat?
Can we get, you better give us a hand clap, because he just answered his own question.
What you mean I answer my own question?
You just told us.
Exactly.
Y'all
what the
all
algorithm.
in the same boat. Why y'all even in the same boat together? Give me a different ship. Give me a ship. Give me a yacht or something.
It's a glitch.
Why y'all all in here?
Man, because we all men.
So
that's why we all in there.
How am I supposed to? Well, I guess it's like the same boat of women.
Yeah.
I was about to say, how am I supposed to see you if y'all all up in here together?
Biggest mistake I ever made when I was in college. I played Signal, and I was very protective of some of my frat brothers because I just felt like they wasn't as rough around the edges as I was, and they wasn't out there as much as I was and seen as much as I was. And one of my LBs, man, you know what I'm saying, his wife hung with a group of girls that they was on some other stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was protective over him, and I just didn't want him to really go down that road because I automatically assumed that because she hung with them, that she was like them. Yeah. And she was not. She was not like that. She was the complete. Them was her friends, but she wasn't like that. Right. And then, like 12 years later, I seen them out, and I actually walked up to her and I apologized to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that because of the type of relationship that he ended up having with his wife and the mother of his two sons, that at some point in time he probably was like, yeah, Chestnut was such and or whatever, and that's probably why y'all ain't never really get along, or he looked at you a certain way, and that kind of sort of built like this little wall up for me. And it wasn't so much as I needed them to be my friends or I needed them to be cool with me, you know what I'm saying, but as far as my forgiveness goes and making sure that she understands that I made a mistake. I apologized. And he came back to me later on and was like, bro, I really appreciate you doing that. But it's just sometimes cause I used to be the square dude, and some people still say that I'm square now, you know what I'm saying? Because I just really don't show a mean or angry side or a bad side or trying to treat people bad side of me, because as you always hear on this podcast, my grandma taught me to treat people the way I want to be treated. So I'm gonna do that. I'll kill you with kindness. Even though I might not mess with you, I'm still going to be nice to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me, a lot of people, man, you learn from your peers. You know what I'm saying? The homeboy in the group that's always getting all the girls that really ain't got no game, but he just look good. Like the guys that really, really look good, they really don't have no game. Because they get it off the strength of how they look, you know what I'm saying? Versus the guy on the smaller of the totem pole, he got to do a little bit more homework. He got to watch a little bit more body motion. He got to actually go read he got to go read your bio. He actually got to go through some of your pics to see exactly how to compose that first message to make sure that he can try to read you in and get your attention so that he can actually tell you something outside of the status quo of what you've been hearing, number one. But number two, at the same time, if you did hear this status quo, he's still trying to govern his words accordingly so that you can maybe see through the fact that it's not just simple like it was from the other first 20 guys that you got, but I'm trying to set myself apart some type of way. And as much as I would love to see you in the grocery store or see you at Home Depot and see you in the park, I honestly haven't seen you in those places. And then when I seen you in the park, it say you do yoga and you meditate, so that's your space. So what I look like coming over into your space, messing with you, doing that.
I get that.
So I'm just gonna shoot my shot by sending a DM. Like all DMs not bad. I tell every model I work with, like if I DM you to work with you, I don't want you. I'm choosing you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the followers, you got the attention, you got the comments. Let's work together. Let's do something that's gonna help us both out. You know what I'm saying? But out of every model that then came in here has the same response about DMs. Every Negro that jump in their DMs want them.
I don't think I said that though.
I'm not saying that you said that.
Yeah, I'm just saying when it comes to DMs, it's just the hey beautifuls, the regular. You gonna have to just come straight in with conversation. Just what's up. The small talk is we not doing no small talk. Like what's up?
Like why? What are you saying? Why we can't get get dressed at 7:00? We're gonna take you out.
That's so unreal, man. That's so unreal, man.
Unreal, like in certain pools, cause that's happening somewhere around the world.
That's happening, but it ain't happening like that. The DM, it don't say nothing about get dressed at 7:00. It say actually they'll try to fly you out. That's what it say. That's what it say. No, that's not. That's not. No, it's not. That's really, really, really real.
I'm saying it's called shoot your shot, right? If you're gonna shoot it, just go all the way in and just say what you're saying.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, if you don't go ahead and put it out there, what you trying to do or what you capable of doing, you could possibly miss out. Not saying that it's right or wrong on nobody's end, but at the end of the day, man, when you going fishing, the type of fish you want to catch, you got to bait that line a certain type of way.
Yeah, and you're gonna catch a few fish before you catch the one you want. So.
And you know what we do with the fishermen? You know what we do, right? Throw them whole back.
So let's talk about anxiety. Like I said, I did my research, and you talked about anxiety on your website. Okay. What is anxiety to you? Anxiety. What is that to you?
Thinking about what's about to happen, and it ain't even here yet. Thinking about what can possibly go wrong and it hadn't even been done yet. Planning out tomorrow and everything that you have to get done. But right here in this moment, you ain't got to do that yet. That's how anxiety is formed. Anytime you're obsessing and thinking about all the things you need to do in the future. So that's anxiety to me. Feeling overwhelmed about bills that you can't pay for that haven't even hit you yet. Seriously. Thinking about everything that you need to get done that's not in this present moment. That's anxiety.
Okay.
You feel that?
I feel that. I most definitely feel that. But look, man, our time has been far-fetched, man. We appreciate you coming through so much, man, and kicking it with us and spending time. Absolutely. We hope you go. Shout out to my stylist, man. She cooked for us, so I'm hoping you go get some of that good food. You know what I'm saying? The fish, everything was on point. So, as we get ready to cut the corner, man, and get out of here, man, I just want to say thank you once again. And with you doing yoga, you know what? We can't end yet. Hold on. I got one more thing before we end it. With the yoga and the meditation, all of these things, all of these life experiences growing up with, the amount of sisters that you grew up with, the relationship you have with your father, your mother, the dates and the relationships that you have been exposed to, Are all of these things comprised in what gives you the title and you did the work to make you a life coach?
Absolutely. That's why I find myself working all the time, because it's not work to me. This is my life.
Right.
And it's all based on my life experiences. So I think a lot of people, when it comes to being a life coach too, assume I'm coming in to tell you what to do with your life.
Right.
That's not what a life coach is, not from my perspective. It's allowing me to see insight into what it is that you envision for your life and help guide you to get that done.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like life coach stamps me, because
So give us that quick synopsis one more time on what a life coach is from your perspective.
From my perspective, a life coach provide your life coach with insight into what it is that you want to do in your personal life, your love life, your career, or your home. What are you feeling? What needs to change? What are you wanting to work towards? What are your goals in those areas?
Right.
Let me guide you.
And you basically hold that person responsible.
I hold you accountable. I'm your coach. I'm going to hold you accountable and coach you and provide you with tools and resources so that you don't need me, so that you can be self-sufficient and empower you to do those things yourself.
I got you. So now that you said that, now we can cut this block right here. So now that we've gotten everything out there on the table, that she came here for industry money, you guys, to hang out with us, and we kind of our conversation went left, right, went up and down, but we brought it back to the center because everything that she gave us today is about what she stands for, what her profession is about, and the things that she can bring to the table. And if you're right here in the local area of Birmingham, Alabama, and with the technology that we have, man, a life coach can be anywhere, man. So if you heard something that you like doing this podcast, man, you've seen something that you like, you know what I'm saying? Her information is about to be up on the screen. It will also be downloaded in the description. But before we get out of here, if you do me one more favor and just tell everybody who you are one more time, what your specialties are, the services that you provide, how they can contact you, and all that other good information, just in case anybody want to reach out to you for some information, and we'll get ready to get out of here.
Absolutely. My name is Janae Millhouse. I go by True, as in truth or false, because I am living and walking in my truth.
Okay.
I can be found as True Portrait on Instagram, Janae Millhouse on Facebook, and I provide services of healing our universe through self-awareness and empowerment tools for awareness.
That's what it is, man. So like I told y'all, man, the information is right there on the screen, man, and it's down below in the description, man. So do us a favor from right here at the What You Mean podcast, and make sure that you actually reach out to her, man, and give us some business, man. Tell her that you heard her on the podcast, and that's what made you reach out to her, because that's what we are here for, man. So in the meantime, between time, thank you for listening. Thank you for clicking. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe. And make sure you follow us if you're not already following us on whatever podcast platform you're actually listening to us on. And until next time, man, I am your host, LaCheston.
And I am the sit-in co-host, Nashay.
And until next time, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Peace.